It is 1 o'clock, and it is my pleasure as President National of the National Society Descendants of American Farmers to welcome you to the second Sharing Our Societies. We hope all of you enjoy this meeting and learning about new societies that are here to speak. I would like to first call on Sandy Bassett, who is Chaplain National for National Society Descendants of American Farmers.
Let us pray. We offer prayers of praise for all our blessings and give thanks for the opportunity to gather together. We pray for our members who are hurting and ill. Please wrap your loving arms around them and heal them and comfort them. May our good works and dedicated service enhance the lives of all those in our communities as we continue to support you, our families in this great country. In your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Sandy. Those of you who have been with us before, we have a Toastmaster for NSDOAF. Glenn Martin is with us, and he will be introducing the speakers and telling a little bit about them. Remember, at the end, he always has a toast. So have your glass ready, whether it be water, coffee, tea, or anything you want. Glenn, I will turn it over to you, please.
Thank you. No pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate, Madam, our National President's welcome to the second Share Our Societies event organized by the National Society Descendants of American Farmers. It's always a pleasure to get together with my fellow farmer descendants. Our previous event was a smashing success, and I have no doubt that today's function will be similarly informative. I hope everyone enjoys the presentations and maybe even discovers a new society to consider. Our President National has already summarized the guidelines for the event, so without further ado, let's get rolling. Our first organization is the National Society Daughters of the Union, 1861 to 1865, founded in 1912 and being presented by Cheryl Morris. Ms. Morris.
Thank you. Our organization was founded in 1912 with the objects of our society being to honor the memory of the men and women who contributed toward the preservation of the Union during the Civil War extending over the years 1861 to 1865, to foster a spirit of patriotism, loyalty, and love of country, to uphold the honor of the flag of the United States of America, to give financial aid to Lincoln Memorial University in Harrogate, Tennessee. Membership is open to any woman 18 years of age or older, provided she is a direct lineal or collateral descendant of a man or woman who rendered military or civil service to the Union during the years 1861 to 1865. Junior memberships are also available. Society members participate in services at national and local cemeteries. Chapters present the NSDU Civil War Remembrance Award to recognize members of the community who demonstrate outstanding commitment to the education of U.S. Civil War history. We support Heinemann Settlement School and Reese Across America. At a national level, the Society awards 2 scholarships annually to students at Lincoln Memorial University, in addition to awarding JROTC awards to cadets at local high schools. Our applications can be found on our website, and the cost to join is $25. We now have 33 chapters and 1,341 members, and would love for you to join us as we honor the memories of the men and women who served during the Civil War. And in the words of our society motto, let us have peace. Thank you.
Ms. Morris, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will now open the floor to questions for 2 minutes.
If you have a question, please unmute yourself.
Hi, Charlie Mullenweg, Texas. Are y'all separate from the DUV, the Daughters of the Union Veterans of the Civil War?
Yes, we are a different organization.
Okay. And
Because we honor collateral descendants, where they honor just the the direct descendant.
do y'all have state chapters?
Yes, we have state chapters. We have, what they say, 33 chapters.
Thank you.
So can I ask, could you clarify what you mean by collateral descendants?
That could be your uncle.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Most of the men died during the Civil War. They were very young and did not have families. And we want to make sure we recognize all of the patriots that fought, which is why we honor collateral lines.
May I ask a question, please?
Yes.
I'm also a member of your organization, and I'm trying to figure out how to work on the collateral line because my great grandfather had a brother, but because of the pandemic, I can't get down to the archives to research anything because it's still closed. What can I do?
There is a website, it's called Fold 3, and they have most of the Civil War records on file.
Okay, so I need to get a membership for that then.
Yes.
Kathleen, do you still have a question?
I do. For your collaterals, is there a short form since I'm just going Three Brothers?
No.
Okay.
There is one question that is up in the chat. Someone who married into the family, would that count? Someone who married in the family, would that count?
It has to be like a blood relative, like an uncle, your father's brother. I believe that is how it goes.
Thank you. And Glenn, in the chat, I have put the listing of the speakers in order that they are speaking.
I have it right here. Is that all the questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Our next organization is the National Society Daughters of American Colonists, founded in 1920 and presented by Betsy, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce this, Grieker. So I apologize, please correct me, Ms. Grieker.
And it's Creek Car, so you were really close.
Okay, second syllable, got it.
The National Society Daughters of the American Colonists was founded in 1920 and incorporated in 1921. Our 100th anniversary celebration this past April was put on hold. So this coming April at our General Assembly, we will be celebrating our 100th plus one anniversary. You can become a member and join us in this awesome celebration in Old Alexandria, Virginia. And while there, you can visit our historical home in Washington, D.C. How do you become a member? If you can prove lineal descent from those men and women who lived in American colonies and served in one of 27 categories of acceptable patriotic or civil service before July 4th, 1776, you can join our celebration as a new member. If your ancestor was a Huguenot refugee, a Palatine settler, a juryman, a selectman, a minister, or a soldier, you can become a member. These are only examples, so check our website at nsdac.org to see all 27 services to our country that will qualify your membership. NSDAC is known as the Friendly Society, and we live up to that reputation. Who's a member of the American Colonist? She's a person who shares the devotion to her country and the principles upon which it was founded. She believes that the gifts of the past should be preserved.
She serves her community, supports veterans, and recognizes and awards individuals, groups, and outstanding JROTC and ROTC cadets. Yes, there is the Sons of the American Colonists and the Children of the American Colonists, so you can make this a family outing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Griecar. We will now open the floor to questions for 2 minutes.
Yes, I have a question. I'm a member of the First Families of Maryland, and I'm also a member of the DAR. Would you accept the proofs from those two organizations for membership?
The proof documents, not a copy of the application, but the proof documents, yes. And if your ancestor was here for DAR, for the American Revolution, so far as the National Registrar, I've been able to connect to someone who qualifies.
What is your current membership, ma'am?
Oh, good question. I don't know. We're in 48 states. I do apologize. I know Melanie's on here somewhere. So Melanie, if you, she is our national president. If you have an answer to that question, would you unmute and answer it?
About 6,000.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you both. Thank you.
Any further questions? No?
What is
Okay.
the cost to join?
The application fee and national dues first year is $50. And then it would depend on your state and chapter dues as well.
Anyone else? No?
Yeah, I'm sorry, another clarification question. What does Palatine Settler refer to?
If you Google that, you can find the description. It's like the Huguenots, except they came from the Palatine region.
Okay, so it's not that they're settling in a region of the of America that's called the Palatine, but it's from the Palatinate that's like in the area of Switzerland, in Europe.
Germany. Yes, yes, it's
Okay,
from
thank you.
Germany. Yeah,
Good, well, I have an application to write then. Thank you.
awesome. I love that. I look forward to reviewing it.
Thank you.
When you are asking a question, please introduce yourself so we know who you are.
I'm just gonna say mine. I can't put my video on, but so she can look for my application. It's Julie Van Dyke.
Thank you, Julie.
I have a question. Does, you said that was in service in the American colonies. Does that mean a minister, a burgess, sheriff, judges, anything like that?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
And deputy sheriff.
okay,
And military is, there was a lot of interaction prior to the Revolutionary War, so any of that would count.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And this is Donna Cohen.
My name is Nancy Briles, and regulators are another one.
Yes. Like I said, there are 27 on our website. So please check it out.
No more questions? Okay. As a former Red Leg, I'm pleased to introduce our next organization, the National Society Women Descendants of the Ancient and Honorable Artillery, founded in 1926 and being presented by Catherine Carey. Ms. Carey.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. The qualifications to join our society: any woman 18 years and over who is lineally descended from a member of the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts between the years of 1637 and 1774, or from a member of the General Court of 1638, which confirmed order for the military company. comprising the governor, the governor's council, and deputies to the general court, or from a member of the clergy who preached the annual election sermon from 1638 to 1774, is eligible to membership in this society. Things that we are interested in. Our patriotic activities include participating in the ceremony at the Cathedral of the Pines in New Hampshire. The Carillon is in honor of women, which is very different, who have sacrificed their lives in war service. My project is the Children's Garden at the Cathedral of the Pines. Biographically, we published history and lineage books and have 17 available to help with research. Genealogically, we have a list of every available ancestor in our new book, which I want to show you. We're very proud of.
Wow.
Nice and thick. So we have a list of every available ancestor. If you have someone in mind, let me know and I'll look it up for you. Educationally, we contribute to Hillside School and Cross North School. We have a Founder's Scholarship, which is different, for students working on degrees to help preserve our heritage and history. We give 2 ROTC scholarships in the Boston area, which is where the Honorable Artillery Company was located, 2 to the place where our ancestors served. Our next meeting will be on Monday, April 11th, 2022. We have a morning meeting and a luncheon. We look forward to having you join us. Thank you for this time.
Ms. Carey, thank you very much. We'll now open the floor to questions for 2 minutes.
Mrs. Carey, would you please
Yes.
tell us the name of the books again?
This is on our website. You could order it if you want. It's for $50 and postage. The genealogical data of the Ancient Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Carey, this is Charlie Mullenweg from Texas. I understand y'all are there's several groups for the Ancient and Honorable. Y'all are only for the women descendants, correct?
We are for the women descendants. We are in contact though with the Ancients. That's the name of the men's group in Massachusetts. We happen to have our charter is displayed there at Faneuil Hall, right beside their charter. So we have good contact now. We didn't to begin with, but we do now.
There's on the chat, it asks, what are the dues, please? And what is the fee to join?
$45 is for the application. We have what I really like is a life membership, and our life membership is $200.
Many of the presenters have this in their packets that we will be sending out later next week. And that tells you the price it is to join, how much it is for supplements if they've given that to us, a life membership and everything else, plus their qualifications. So we have that from all of the presenters.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none.
Sorry,
Oh.
Charlie Mullenweg again from Texas. Ms. Carey, will that packet include your email address? You were saying you'd be willing to do lookups.
I believe it does. I'd sent it in. And my phone number is there also.
Good enough. for
Right,
me.
Janice Sue?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Our next organization is the National Huguenot Society, founded in 1931 and being presented by Jolie Potts. Ms. Potts.
Thank you, Mr. Glenn. Hello, everyone. I'm Jolie Potts, and I am the second Vice President General of the National Huguenot Society. And as Glenn mentioned, the society started in 1931 when the Pennsylvania Huguenot Society, which was founded in 1918, the New Jersey Huguenot Society, which was founded in 1922, and the Washington DC Society, which was founded in 1927. When those three societies joined with other organizations that were also Huguenot societies, merged and actually formed initially the Federation of Huguenot Societies. Since then, other Huguenot societies founded together, and there was a name change along about 1938 to become the National Huguenot Society. The purpose of the society is to perpetuate the memory, the spirit, and the deeds of the men and women who were originally in France, who were known as the Huguenots. And basically, the Huguenot word means heretic. And they were persecuted in the 16th and 17th centuries because of their adherence to the basic tenets of the Protestant faith. And basically, they were fighting against the Catholics, who basically didn't want them to follow the doctrines of Jean Calvin and some other folks. So they either left France on their own, or they were thrown out, and they went all over the globe. So your Huguenot ancestor may or may not have directly come to the colonies. Your Huguenot ancestor may have gone to England. They may have gone to the Netherlands. They may have gone to Switzerland. They may have gone to South Africa, or they may have gone to one of the Virgin Islands before they came to the United States. You're probably looking at researching back to 13 or 14 generations, but that's okay because we have folks who can help you in your journey. Back to they're wonderful people. They have all kinds of different characteristics. But our current Confederation of Organizations, we have 26 state societies. When you make your initial contact with us, either you will become a member at large, or we will put you with one of the state societies. Some of the larger states, aka Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, actually have chapters. And then we will put you in a chapter. And each of these have chapter registrars, have state registrars, because back to, we're going to help you in your journey to get you hooked up. We do not accept papers from other lineage societies because back to, we're trying to put together the best possible records that we can with you. And it's a collaborative effort of doing it together with you. We're going to go into the records. We've got a fabulous registrar general. We've got a fabulous genealogist general who can pull things from our files as well as other files that we have. If you don't fit into one of those categories, then back to, you fall into the categories at large. And back to, we have a number of international members. We have members from Canada, Mexico, from Australia, from the United Kingdom. And so back to, we do that. We also offer a junior membership for those folks who are interested, who want to join, who are under 16. You can keep that junior membership up through 21. And we do that for folks who are going to be in the military or for college students and those types of things. Regular membership, it costs $60 for you for your initial membership. And then the dues are $20 a year. And then on top of that, if you're in a state that does not have chapters, you just have your state dues, or you just have your chapter and your state dues. So why do we do that? Well, basically because we want you to participate in the states and the chapters. Chapters have chapter meetings, typically 2 or 3 a year. States have at least one state meeting a year. Sometimes in the case of Florida, where I'm at, we have 2 a year. And back to, membership requires you to be 16 years of age, Huguenot principles of faith and liberty. You need to be a member of the Protestant faith, or at least say you are, and be of direct lineage. We do not accept collaterals, but you need to be of direct lineage, either male or female line, and you have to be able to prove that they were actually a Huguenot. And it can be religious persecution. It must be religious persecution or adherence in a territory of the Kingdom of France. So back to, we have all of these things available. So why do you want to do this? Well, because Back to, we want to honor our families. I met some of my very bestest friends. Janet Walker is on this call. She is one of my very bestest friends at this point, because we want to leave a legacy to our families, become better researchers. A lot of our groups are involved in historic preservation. We've done work at the restoration of the windows at the Washington Chapel at Valley Forge. We do restoration work at the churches over in France at the Huguenot churches. We've done lots of preservation work for Huguenot records because when they left France, a lot of the records were burned. So back to, plus we have things like wine tasting for anybody who's interested in that. We get involved in food tastings. We meet at French restaurants. And there's all kinds of things like studying current impacts on current Huguenots and things that they did. People like John Audubon, things like Alexander Hamilton and his impact. Thomas Alva Edison was a Huguenot, Dwight Eisenhower. And so we get involved in all different kinds of interesting studies and conversations about what if those people had or had not, and some of the influences that they had. So we talk about current events as well as some of the things that happened because of things that have changed in the printing press, as well as religion in the colonies and things like that. So if you're interested in all of that, a lot of the information is available on our national website. And I would encourage you to reach out to us so we can get you hooked into all of the appropriate people who can help you on your journey. So thank you very much for inviting us to be a part of this conversation. And we hope you have as much fun joining us and being one of our cousins as we have with all of the rest of our cousins who are already members of our happy group. Thank you.
Ms. Potts, thank you very much. I would just want to say my application is currently being processed, and in particular, I want to thank Shirley Arndt, who's here today, for being so helpful in getting everything I need. I'm looking forward to being a member. That being said, we'll open the floor to questions for 2 minutes.
Mrs. Potts, Davina and I are new members of Mannequin Drilling. So do we qualify with a supplement or with co-ening on a short form to?
There is no such thing as a short form, but if you bring your paperwork and your Mannequin Town stuff, we can transfer that information over. You bring your proofs and back to, it's going to make it much quicker to fill out the form. But you're going to have to provide the same information as what you did for Mannequin Town.
We have those. Could you please tell me what the fee is?
Yeah, the fee for your initial application is $60 plus the $20 dues.
Thank you.
And then it's going to be, you're in Texas, so you're going to have a chapter that you're going to be in. They'll assign you to one of the 2 chapters in Texas. So you'll have your chapter dues for whichever chapter you go into Texas. And then you'll have your state dues, and I don't know what the state dues are for Texas, and then the $20 national dues. But like I said, the 2 chapters in Texas are great. So you're going to be really happy with either one you go in.
Thank you.
Donna Cohen from Florida.
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Maybe we won't have any rain today, but I know it's on the way for all next week. Again. Always, we're on the coast, so we're going to get it. The question I have is what years did you start? So it's not just US, correct?
It is not just US. We accept anybody from around the globe, and they will go in as a member at large. In the US, the National Huguenot Society's official start date was 1931. The state of Florida became an official member of the National Huguenot Society in 1958.
Okay, but what years do we look at for our ancestors?
Yeah, Janet's gonna have that off the top of the head, and I'm gonna say it's prior to 1738. I think the cutoff year is 1738.
Okay,
Matt
And
is nodding.
and I'm gonna plug this in here for the state of Florida because that's where I'm at, and I'm the current president of the state of Florida. We have at our disposal here in Florida, we have one of the best registrar generals for the Huguenot Society in the state of Florida, and two registrars here that we could possibly have. So if you're hung up or you need help in the state of Florida on your Huguenot Society papers, we are blessed. So there you go.
thank you.
Hi,
Anyone else?
Debbie Conkin. I have two questions. One, do you have a last acts clause? I have one potential ancestor that looks like he married a daughter of the king. So he must have converted to Catholicism after going to Canada, but I'm a Protestant. Is he disqualified?
No. And no. And back to get a hold of me separate after this meeting, and you and I can talk through this because the answer to that is no, and you qualify most likely yes.
Okay. Yeah, my other one is about a Gillette line. There's a book of two brothers, but I'm actually from the third one that came later. That's Jeremiah Gillette. So he's my other one.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. So absolutely familiar with the Gillette line. And so, yeah, absolutely. After this meeting, absolutely get a hold of me.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Eddie Odelwald. My question is that my Huguenot ancestors came to New Amsterdam.
Yep.
Dutch settlement, so they qualify.
Yes.
Well, to New Amsterdam. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Does my grandmother qualify that came from England, that was a Protestant?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you were saying Amsterdam. So if one of my great grandmothers married von Prince and came through America through the Baron, does that qualify too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Two of my ancestors went to England first before they came here. And two of my ancestors directly came here. And that's two of my 8 that I have put through.
And what date did you say the cutoff was? 17 what?
It's like 1732 or 1735.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, Bernie Roback. I have an ancestor that qualifies, but have the rules changed? Do you still have to be a Protestant?
The rules are you still have to be a Protestant, but I'm going to put this qualifier in here. What you sign on your form is up to you. Now, I'm going to say this in honest. There are people who are Catholics in the group, and there are people who are Jewish in the group who have signed that they agree to the tenets of the Protestant faith. And that's what the form says. Okay. Nobody follows up. So if we find out you're Catholic or we find out you're Jewish, we're not going to throw you out. Okay.
No, I won't lie. So I'm waiting for someday, maybe it'll change.
Well, and back to, and I'm going to be honest with you, there are some members of the board, okay, who would love it to change. And there are some members of the board who will never allow it to change. Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens in a board meeting has to stay in a board meeting. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Well, if that ever changes, please let us know.
If it ever changes, I'm going to come up here with a great big banner and say, guess what has happened?
Love it. Love it.
Or anyone else? Okay. Our next organization is Descendants of Founders of New Jersey. founded in 1982 and presented by Kathleen Walsh. Ms. Walsh.
Hi, we're so happy to be here today. We're a relatively small organization, and I think it's because we're regional. We are open to male, female, and it's an early cutoff date. Your founder has to have been here prior to the 17th of April, 1702, which is when East and West New Jersey were combined. In the early colonial times, there was a tremendous amount of boundary shifting between New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, everything going into the various different states. So our cutoff is April 17th, 1702. Now, you did not have to live in New Jersey, but you had to have already owned land in New Jersey by then. So if you bought your land, but you didn't arrive yet, you're still eligible to join. Our cutoff is what is now present day New Jersey, which is a little bit confusing, but don't fret about it because we have a great registrar who's been doing this for probably 40 years, and she can figure all of that out for you. Our objectives, we provide financial support. We support like the Genealogical Society and Historical Societies of New Jersey. We're revamping now our scholarship program. We're going to change the way we do it to make it, we're going to take it out of our hands totally, and we're going to leave it up to the college to pick the best applicant. So that's going to be kind of a bit of a big change for us. We have a book that we publish. It's you're not going to see me now for a second because you're going to see the book, I hope. If you can't see it, the book.
Which is the exact same color as your background.
Well, that's why. I believe in color coordination. This book was written by our registrar, Dr. Ogden. We are now in the process of finishing the second book. It has all of the early history of New Jersey. It has maps, pictures, but it has probably 150 biographies of the early founders of New Jersey. The next book, we're probably going to add, I think, another 150 biographies to the second book. That's should go out to the publisher by mid-October. So it's coming. I don't know exactly when, but it is coming. We've taken the time with COVID to change what we're doing. One of the best things is having Zoom meetings. We have 2 meetings in person in the fall and spring, and we pick an area and a place in New Jersey that was semi-standing or important in the time era of the early 1700s. So we do meet all around the state of New Jersey. But now we're adding Zoom. So we have a combined physical meeting with speakers, and we have Zoom also coming in, which I think is going to be a huge, huge benefit for us. Let me see, what else can I tell about us? Our last board meeting, we did increase the price of membership. I urge anyone that wants to join through these meetings to do a tiny whine and say, but it did say 100. I've already spoken to the registrar about that, and I think we're going to win. We are going to have a vote on it next board meeting, but I think we will win. So it was $100. It's now $125. It is a lifetime fee, though, so there are no further fees involved. It's $25 to submit your application. We just sent all our records out to be digitized. So we have just over 500 members, and some people may have 10, 11, or 12 supplemental members. So everything should be back in about 2 months, I believe. Right now on our website, which is www.njfounders.org, there are the biographies that were in the first book. So there is information there. The other Bible, I say that literally for us, is New Jersey Patents and Deeds. It starts at 1664. So it does not have the early Dutch in it because they were buying land way before 1664. But if your ancestor had any land in New Jersey in 1664, it is in this book. I think you can download it from Internet Archive. I eventually had to go out and buy it. But if not, I can do lookups from the book. That's really easy to do. I think, let's see, do I have anything else to say? Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I have a picture here. I like show and tell. Could you tell? So this is what our insignia looks like. We have a full-size insignia and a mini insignia. The certificate comes with your fee. I don't know, I don't think you can really if I stand up. So that's our insignia. That's what a full size looks like. So thank you very, very much. We're really excited about this, and I think it's great for all of us. And I'm excited learning about I joined 2 societies from the first Zoom I went to, so I see more in my future. So thank you very much.
Kathy, would you please strike into the chat the names of the books that you have been speaking on?
I will.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so slow.
Thank you.
So I should say it, somebody should type it because you won't read it. There'll be so many mistakes. Founders of New Jersey by Dr. Ogden. That's on Amazon. And the next book is New Jersey Patents and Deeds by Nelson. 1664. You're not going to find this book unless you find it on eBay. It's a very old book, but I think you can, if it's not on Internet Archive, it's in Library of Congress. It's download or Hathi Trust. It is downloadable somewhere, I believe. But I can look up.
You said 1664, you didn't have land records before that, but if you have Dutch ancestry and the baptismal records, et cetera, are in the Hackensack Church before Dutch Reformed Hackensack Church, that would be proof of being in New Jersey, yes?
Oh, absolutely. There are a lot of records that are not in this book because of the year it starts.
Okay.
The earlier Dutch records, they may be in Pennsylvania, they may be in New York. They just aren't in this book. That doesn't mean you're not eligible. It just means it's not in the book.
Fine, thank you.
Kathy, I started working on my application. This is Debbie Hansen.
Well, good girl, finish.
Who do I work with to fill in the gaps? I've got one small gap in the middle that I'm struggling with documentation on.
You can send me an email or on our website, you can email the registrar.
Okay.
Glenn,
Either one of us. The unfortunate thing now is all of our supplementals, all of our applications, all of our proofs are not in our hands because they've gone out to be digitized. So, you know, we may, but we're pretty resourceful.
Okay, good.
And we're like a dog with a bone, so we don't give up easy.
Glenn, it appears we have Nancy West with questions, Deanna Way with questions, Leona Ware, and Debbie Larson with questions. Their hands are up.
Bring them on. I'll ask my question when they're done.
Okay.
But I do want to say to Debbie Hansen, you made me homesick. I'm from Northern New Jersey, and you made me homesick when you said small. So I'll ask my question at the end. Everyone else, please.
Nancy West, your hand is up. No. Okay, if you'll please lower your hand then. Debbie Larson, your hand is up. Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Hi. Good morning, or I guess we're afternoon at this point. I'm actually interested in joining your society. I know my father, I believe there might be another First Families of New Jersey. If that might be a different society, some other. I know my dad, my sister filled out some paperwork to something for my father, but I am interested in joining your society. And I'm just wondering, my sister lives in Hawaii, I live in Virginia, and we're trying to prove, my maiden name is Yetman, Y-E-T-M-A-N. And there's a John Yetman that married, I believe it's Margaret Gordon. I don't have the years on how far back it is. But we're hoping to come to New Jersey sometime this month, assuming you guys are open. Do you know, we're from Monmouth County, near Englishtown, I believe is the area where my dad's family was from.
Yes.
Do you know if any of the areas there for research or for Trenton, so I can find all the, some of the documentation we've having trouble finding is open?
Yeah, currently the New Jersey Archives is open, but that is subject to change week to week. I
Okay.
would suggest as soon as you know you're going to come, send them an email, tell them it's from a distance. They are only allowing 2 in the building at a time.
Oh, perfect.
So we're used to
Okay.
having, 15, 16 researchers in there. So they're giving times out on a first come, first serve. So 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. But if you have specific things, or if you want to send a mock application, those of us in New Jersey with our books and things can kind of try to help fill in the blanks for you. We'll be happy
Okay.
to do that.
Thank you.
Now I
And
wish
then-
we hadn't, now I wish our things were not gone, but it was in the works way before this started.
And then is there an email that I can get so that I get to you directly? Or
I should be in the packet. And on the website, it's Gilly. It sounds funny, but it's Dr. Ogden. She's our registrar. So either one of us, but mine is in the packet, and between the 2 of us, we have a lot of books.
Thank you so
Vice
much. I really
President.
appreciate it. Thank you.
The national president's given me the move along sign. So there'll be plenty of time for questions after all our speakers have presented. Our next organization is the Continental Society Daughters of Indian Wars, founded in 1988 and being presented by Helene Werner. Ms. Werner. You're muted, ma'am.
Now,
There we
am
go.
I there? And I've got something in the front of me there. So now, okay. Excuse me. I have a sinus thing going on, so pardon me if I have to clear my throat while I'm speaking. Thank you so much for inviting us to share during this meeting. Our organization was founded in Atlanta, Georgia by Virginia Avery. Our motto is our hand clasp of friendship shall endure. Our website address is csdiw.org. Eligibility: any woman can be who is a citizen of the United States of America, Dominion of Canada or Mexico, of good moral character, 16 years of age, is eligible for membership, provided she is personally acceptable to the society and is a lineal descendant of a native or an immigrant American ancestor who participated in any capacity in any activity, hostile or other activity, in which during the period of May 14th, 1607 to 1900. The objects of our society are to assist and encourage preservation of records and historic sites associated with our native and immigrant American ancestors, to cherish the memory of our native and immigrant ancestors, to strengthen fellowship, encourage cooperation between descendants of the native and immigrant Americans, excuse me, to foster in spirit and patriotism and support and endorsement of all the treaties and laws made and agreed upon between the state and federal government and several tribes, bands, and nations of Native Americans. To publish a lineage book of names, ancestral data of members of the society, and to promote worthy programs and projects of educational benefit to Native Americans. Currently, we have our lineage book volume 1 and 2 that are out of print, but at the printer is going to be one book that combines volume 1, 2, and 3. That is at the printer right now. The purpose: we are a 501c3 organization. Our fiscal year is November the 1st through October 31st. The colors of our society are in the flag, which is behind me. Thank you, Bev. I was unable to figure out how to use the canvas that you sent me. I'll use it next time, I hope. Colors of our society are white for the north wind that brought snow and drove the buffalo south so the Indian could survive. Yellow for the east wind that brought the rising sun to warm the earth, excuse me, so the Indian could grow corn. Red for the south wind was a gentle wind to make life more comfortable, and blue for the west wind that brought the night so the Indians could rest. We have 4 classes of membership: active, life, member at large, and associate. The annual dues are $10. There is a non-refundable application fee of $300 and a $10 supplemental application fee, $20 for MAL dues annually, and a 5-year reinstatement fee. Our life membership is under age 60, $250, and over age 60 is $200. Excuse me. We have a regular size insignia and a miniature. Jessie Ann Wells is our current Registrar General. She will be happy to accept your application. And we do accept approved lineage applications from other societies as proof for generations. Our current membership is approximately 1,360. That's approximate, because Jessie Ann is approving members all the time. Let's see. We have 11 elected officials, 1 appointed parliamentarian, and 1 appointed assistant registrar, 13 in total, that make up our executive committee. We have 22 continental chairmen, 21 vibrant state societies. The Continental Society newsletter, the Calumet, is published annually, I'm losing my voice, January through June. And here is a copy of it. I don't know if you can see it. And it's mailed to each member. We also have a new white 5x7 notebook that contains our bylaws, standing rules, handbooks, rituals, and a yearbook and a directory. The previous administration decided it was important to have all the publications in one place. And there it is right there. I don't know if you can see that. We promote education by awarding 2 annual scholarships, one for $2,500 and one for $5,000. Scholarship pen donations. If you donate money to our scholarship fund, we have a small pony for a $25 donation, a feather for $100, a tomahawk is $200, Calumet is $300, a Indian head chief is $500, and a large running horse is $1,000. Excuse me. My scripture is 1 Corinthians 12:14, King James Version. For the body is not one member, but many. My theme is the turtle, which is very sacred among the culture. The turtle brooches are available for a $45 donation to our scholarship fund. My projects are scholarships, memberships, and donations to Native American schools, especially Pine Ridge Reservation and the Ogallala Sioux Reservation in the Dakotas. In addition, our plan is to make book donations to the only public library on the Navajo Reservation. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. And our next annual meeting, we hope, will be in person on the 31st of March, 2020 in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Ms. Werner, thank you very much.
Yes.
Now open the floor to questions for 2 minutes.
Oh, right. Stop.
Yes, you said that you use the linear applications from other societies. Do you have a short one that we have to fill in to accompany that one?
We use the applications from other societies as proof. No, there is no short form.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Glenn, let us remind everyone the speakers have 2 minutes to speak, and then there are 2 minutes after that for questions and answers. Then we go on to the next speaker.
Right.
There are additional questions for all speakers at the end of this presentation.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring the hammer down, so I figured I'd let you do it.
Thank you, I did.
Are there any other questions? Okay.
Actually, Ms. Werner answered my one question in her presentation. She got to it, took care of it before she lost her voice.
It's going really quick.
All right. Our next organization is the National Society Descendants of Colonial Indentured Servants, founded in 2018 and being presented by Janet Butler Walker. Ms. Walker.
Is this the first time or the second?
Thank you, Glenn. This is great because we're 3 years old this month, as you can see on your information. September 1st, 2018, we officially launched. But I have to take a couple of seconds to tell you how our society came about so that you'll know why it's so important that you join us. I was at a fancy schmancy black tie event in Washington, D.C. for the Monarchs of Rims, sitting at a table with Robin Towns, Sumner Honeywell, and his wife, Sylvia. We were all dressed up in our finest finery with our pins and whatever. And Sumner and I started talking about, well, this is all real nice celebrating our royal ancestors, but what about those indentured servants, you know? And we said right then, you know, they are so forgotten. We should found a society to remember those ancestors. The indentured servants came with nothing to this country, and you can read all about how they came, voluntary, involuntary, but it's so important to know that they came with nothing to this country and they built this country. They were artisans and tradesmen, and they came with their talents and skills. And after their period of indenture, they were released into the society and lived the American dream. So our society does not have a glamorous beginning. You know, we're talking about humble folks, you know, that came to this country. Our colors are brown, green, and blue. The brown is the soil that was toiled, you know, growing tobacco and so forth. Green was the grass and growth, and blue was the sky and the sea, and it represents hope. We do accept papers from other societies. There's no short form, but we do take those papers. Life membership is $225. It includes your choice of insignia, either large or mini, and you get a really nice certificate with a red wax seal that's unique to your certificate. And the difference in our certificate is you have to sign your certificate because it's an indenture. And so the President General signs and you sign as the member. There is a newsletter that we publish called The Passage. It's wonderful. It has articles about indentured servants and things our society's doing. And we also publish a really nice directory. We are a 501c3. Our charity that we support is Historic Pemberton Hall in Salisbury, Maryland. It was a plantation that was founded by the son of a indentured servant. So that family went on to live the American dream, and we support them and help them. Now, you probably are thinking, how in the world can I find an indentured servant ancestor? But it's easier than you think. And there are resources out there. I recently ordered a book called Scots that came to Georgia. And lo and behold, it was full of indentured servants. There were indentured servants in every colony in this country. And you can Google online indentured servants. And our website has fabulous resources for finding your indentured servant. And your local library probably has some. I went to our genealogical library, and lo and behold, there were tons of books on indentured servants. So we would love to have y'all. You probably want to know if the time period is 1607 to 1775, and we do not consider apprentices as indentured servants. They were in a different category. But I would love to entertain any questions about our beloved indentured servant ancestors, because they are so special, and I really love this society. Thank you.
Ms. Walker, thank you very much. Always good to see you.
Janet, I'm going to test something with you, if that's all right. Janet,
Sure.
I'm going to test that you are going over the 2 minutes. So would you just talk for another second, and I'm going to see if this will work.
Okay, well, let's see. Our membership
All right,
is now open.
Okay, let me show you, let me see if everybody hears this. So what I am going to do is I'm going to mute Janet so that no one can hear her at 2 minutes. So please begin again, Janet.
Okay, I'll say we have over 100 members now since we started.
Hopefully that will work for everyone. My apologies. Back to you, Glenn.
Okay, we'll open the floor for questions for 2 minutes.
I have so many questions. This is Charlie Mullenweg from Texas. Nice to meet you, Ms. Walker. What about women that were sold into servitude? They're much harder to track. Are you guys only tracking artisans and laborers, or are you also tracking women?
We are definitely tracking women. In fact, I myself just did a supplemental on my woman indentured servant. I have no idea what she did, but she was an indentured servant as proven by some court records and legal documents. And she went on to marry my indentured servant ancestor, who was also an indentured servant. But yes, we love having women, and we have a list of ancestors on the website. You might want to check. We have several women already on there.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I've got a question for you. I have
Okay.
a ancestor that was arrested in Scotland for religious difficulties.
Right.
They were imprisoned. They were all 125 of them were placed on a ship and sent to New Jersey to be sold as slaves.
Yes.
So they got here, and some of them escaped, some of them didn't. But there isn't, the only paperwork is what is in Scotland, that they put them on the ship, they were coming over to get sold. And that's really, after that, there's nothing in the state of New Jersey that says what, on paper, what happened to them.
If I'm not mistaken, we do have some resources for New Jersey on our website that will show you some lists of indentured servants from New Jersey. So definitely check our website. It's www.indenturedservants.org.
Thank you.
Indenturedservants.org. Yes, check that for New Jersey.
Hi, Debbie Conkin. Is George Soul of the Mayflower considered an indentured servant?
Yes, he is.
Okay, thank you.
This is Sharon Wake. Go ahead.
This is Vicki Carmichael, and I'm wondering if mercenaries are considered indentured servants?
Well, I guess it would depend on, I'm not really sure. I would have to research that a little bit and maybe talk to our registrar general. I'm not really familiar with any mercenaries ancestors that have joined our society. I guess it would depend upon what their situation was.
Okay, thank you.
That's 2 minutes. We'll have time for more questions at the end. Thank you. Okay, our next organization, I've never heard of this one. National Society Descendants of American Farmers. Okay. Because they were founded in 2019, if you say so, and being presented by Davina Littman. Ms. Littman.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor talking about our American farmers, and our years are 1776 to 1914. We celebrate American farmers of the past, present, and future, and we love hearing all the stories our members tell about them. And presently we have 1,196 members, and our members know quite a bit about personal stories about the American farmers and their families. And because of that, they know the history, and we have almost the same number of members as supplements. So as of today, 1,194 supplements. We have ambassadors in quite a few states, and we love these members. They help tell people they know about what we're doing. And our main goal is giving agricultural scholarships. We have given $50,000 to 25 students since we started in 2019. And in the beginning, it was difficult because people hadn't heard about us and we weren't getting many applications. But a few months ago, we had 52 applications from many universities. It was really a thrill. So if you know of anyone who is planning on going into agriculture, we give the scholarships to sophomores, juniors, seniors, and agricultural students. Thank you.
Ms. Lippman, thank you very much. I don't know if anyone here would have any questions, but we'll open the floor for 2 minutes.
Do we have anyone here that is not a member of NSDOAF? Oh, yes, we have quite a few. Thank you for putting that in. Well, thrilling. Good, good, good. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you for joining us. Do our guests have any questions?
Ms. Lipman, you forgot to mention graduate students.
That's right.
Especially graduate students, definitely.
What are the fees to join?
Her question, Davina, was how much is it to join? The membership fee is $300, and that is a lifetime. If you are 80 years of age and older, it is $250. If you bring in a family of 3 or more, it is then $250 per person. Thank you, Glenn.
Anyone else? No. Okay. Our next organization is the National Society Descendants of Early First Responders, founded in 2021, and I'm proud to be a charter member of that organization. It's being presented by Cynthia Bixby. Ms. Bixby.
I love Glenn. He's the official Toastmaster, and he's really good.
Well, thank you. You probably wasn't.
He is.
Thank you, Glenn. I would like to invite each of you to join our Descendants of America Early First Responders. I'm a farmer too. Early First Responders organization. Our membership is open to men, women, and children of all ages that either descend lineally or collaterally from a person who is employed, volunteered, or served in the military as a first responder. Services in law enforcement, medical field, or as a firefighter in any of the various titles of those positions. The years that are acceptable service is July 4th, 1776 through July 4th, 1914.
Same thing as us.
The object of our society is to identify and honor the memory of our early ancestors who were engaged in emergency services, produce and distribute publications relating to the history and genealogy of those ancestors. We provide funds to first responder charities that support our current first responders and their families. Our application can be found on our website, firstresponders.com. We have a short form and a long form. The short form can be used in conjunction with an approved application from a different society that you can prove your lineage with them. And then you can offshoot if your third great grandfather is on your DAR application or 1812 application, you can go from him and go on back to your first responder. We also have the long form. We have a one-time membership fee that includes your certificate of membership, your insignia, and a choice of either a branch bar insignia or a miniature insignia. We currently have less than 50 memberships open for our charter members, and our current insignia for charter members, it says charter member on the insignia. And then after that, it will just be regular insignia that's included. And that's it. Thank you. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Ms. Bixby, thank you very much. We'll open the floor to questions for 2 minutes.
Cynthia, this is
Yes.
Wayne Courageous. Does a justice of the peace ancestor qualify?
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you. I qualify then.
Ms. Bigsby, hi, it's Charlie Mulnick from Texas. How you doing?
Good.
What about, you said constabulary and sheriffs, right? Do they count?
Constables and sheriffs, yes.
And do you accept lineage applications from other societies
We do.
in lieu of giant packets of proof?
Yes, we have a short form. It's just 1 page. Unless it's a collateral, then you have your personal information short form page and then a collateral page.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem.
If he was a assistant surgeon in the Civil War?
That would qualify as a first responder, yes.
Thank you.
Bernadette had a question.
Actually, Charlene answered it for me because I belong to sheriffs and constables, so that would be an automatic as well.
As long as between 1776 and 1914, sheriffs and constables goes before 1776 as well.
Oh, that's right. But I do have some after, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Cynthia Donna Cohen from Florida. And my question just flew out the other ear. That's terrible. Oh,
Glenn.
okay.
Oh,
I'll
that's
get
fine.
with you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Our next organization is the National Society Descendants of American Prisoners of War, founded in 2021 and being presented by Shirley Arnn. Ms. Arnn.
I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the Sharing Our Society's presentation for the Descendants of American Prisoners of War. We are a very new lineage society which was founded on August 1st, 2021. This society was organized exclusively for charitable, historical, and educational purposes under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, and to recognize and record those individuals who were or are American prisoners of war from 1607 through present day. Membership is extended to men and women 18 years of age or older who are a direct lineal or collateral descendant of an ancestor or themselves were an American prisoner of war. Collateral descendants must be the brother or sister of your direct line ancestor. Some acceptable service activities include ancestor self who was held as a prisoner of war during a war or conflict, ancestor who was captured by an adversary and held captive and or for ransom, or an ancestor who was captured and held captive and or ransomed during a skirmish. And I urge you all to think outside the box because some of this will qualify if it was with the Indians. So think outside the box. We do have a website and Facebook page available for contact and membership questions. Membership is at the life membership level only. The cost to join as a charter member on or before March 1st, 2022 is $235. The cost to join after March 1st, 2022 will be $285. Supplemental applications are $35. And application papers of recognized hereditary societies may be submitted as documentation on the same lineage if they are signed record copies of verified papers and acceptable to the Registrar General. We hope that you will join us in honoring your ancestor who was a prisoner of war. Thank you.
Ms. Arnn, thank you very much. We'll open the floor to questions for 2 minutes.
Well, Miss Arnn, hi again.
Hi.
Charlie Mulnick from Texas. I'm just adding to this. What about prisoners of war in the Texas Revolution and other things like that, like the people who were marched to, who were captured and taken to Mexico City?
Yes.
They all count?
Absolutely.
So it's everything that is now the United States.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was thinking outside the box for you.
There you go.
Shirley, Donna Cohen from Florida.
Yes.
Used to be from California, so I remember you well. What were the years again?
1607 to present day.
And they have to be lineal, or could it be an uncle?
It can be a collateral, so that would mean a sister or brother of your ancestor.
Okay. So that would include Civil War.
Yes, ma'am.
Okey doke. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Shirley, this is Lisa Farr. I have a Union soldier that was a prisoner down in Point Lookout and died the day before he's supposed to release. And I do have that proven through UDC. Would that application be acceptable?
It should be. Yes.
Okay. Do I have to fill out a short form or just mail you a copy of that?
You need to fill out a complete application. You just don't have to have the documentation.
Okay,
There is no short form.
okay.
Hi, it's Vicky Carmichael. Could you repeat the website again? I couldn't find
Oh, I didn't give it to you. It's https semicolon / DAPOWWEEBLY.com.
Shirley, Debbie Conkin. Would Daughters of Indian Wars, one of their proven applications, be acceptable?
Yes, it would be.
Okay, because the actual prisoner, I've submitted him to DAR, but we know supplementals are backed up.
Oh, okay.
But I can prove him through the Daughters of Indian Wars application.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shirley, this is Wayne Courageous. Do Confederate prisoners of war count?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Back to you, Glenn.
Okay, thank you. And our last organization for this edition of Share Our Societies is the National Society Descendants of American Farmers Youth Division, also founded in 2019, and today being presented by Maureen Tipton. Ms. Tipton.
Hello there. I am the youth director for the National Society Descendants of American Farmers. The youth membership is from birth until 18, and it's a one-time application fee of $150. When the individual turns 18, we try to encourage them to join the Adult Society for an additional fee of $150. George Washington once stated, "Agriculture is the most healthful, most useful, and most noble employment of man." It is important that we carry this knowledge forward to the youth of our country. Farming is an overlooked industry with incredible potential. Farmers are stewards of the land. Finding ways to teach our youth helps develop an understanding about how food is grown and how farmers take care of their animals, the land, and provide healthy food. They need to recognize their forefathers who built this land and nourished this nation. As youth director, I create a quarterly newsletter, which just went out this weekend, a little bit late, geared to the various ages of our youth members. We are hoping to grow membership and have the members work with their adult mentors to connect with opportunities in their areas to learn and interact with farmers. They can join in a food festival, country fairs, farmers markets, pick farms, or visit a farm. It is important that we teach children about agriculture and help them understand that food doesn't magically show up on the grocery store shelves and that farms must be protected. Our mission is to identify the memory of ancestors who were American farmers and keep their passion alive. Please consider having your children, your grandchildren, nieces, and nephews join in this passion. Please look for those members to increase the membership. I only have 47, And I know that there's a lot of kids out there that you can all join in. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please ask a few.
Ms. Tipton, thank you very much. Questions? Anyone?
You're doing a great job, Maureen. Thank you so much.
Please look at the newsletter. We just put it out there.
Maureen, hi dear. You forgot to say the years, I think.
Oh, it's birth to 18. And then once they're 18, then they would, if we encourage them to then sign in as adult members.
I
So it's
meant
150 for that, and then they can go in to be an adult member.
I meant the years of qualification.
Oh, well, it's the same as the society itself. So Davina, my expert who does all the registry, but she is then 1776 to 1914. So it's the same as the adult.
Well, I want to thank all our presenters again, and with the permission of the President National, we'll open the floor to questions to any of the presenters for today.
Thank you. I noticed beforehand that we have 2 hands up. Are we missing any presenters that I do not know about? If so, please speak up, unmute, and please speak up if we have any presenters. Nancy, your hand was up. Are you a presenter for a society, Nancy West?
No, I'm not. I don't know why my hand is up, but
it's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. We just don't want.
I'm good.
We don't want to miss anyone. But before we start questions and answers, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for attending our sharing our societies. Why don't you quickly, if you are a member of a national society and you are a national officer only, please raise your hand and we will acknowledge you if we have not already heard from you. Okay, if you've already spoken, please. Okay, I see Bev Shealy has her hand up. Bev, your position and where are you?
What is it again? National Society.
National Society, Descendants of Washington's
Yes,
Army.
I'm sorry. Yes. I didn't know I had my hand up, but Bev Shealy, National Counselor National with the National Farmers, National Society Descendants of American Farmers.
Thank you. Thank you. Sandy Bassett.
Thank you. Third Vice President General, Colonial Dames, 17th Century.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any other national officers with us?
Yes, Jen.
Yes, Cheryl first and then Sherry next.
Okay, I am the Inspector General of Washington's Army at Valley Forge.
Thank you, ma'am. Sherry?
President General of Descendants of American Prisoners of War.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Genesee.
Oh, yes, Trish, please.
This is Trish Aaron. I am the Vice President of the Descendants of Early First Responders.
Thank you. Sue Moritz. Sue Moritz.
National Society Daughters of American Colonists, Vice President, Great Plains Section.
Thank you very much, Sue. Appreciate you. Leslie Richards, please.
I am the Vice President of the National Society of the Dutch Colonial Society.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ann Wagaman, please, ma'am.
Corresponding Secretary, Continental Society Daughters of Indian Wars.
Thank you so much, Ann. Sue Petris.
First Vice President General, National Society Daughters of the Union, 1861-1865.
Thank you so much. If I have missed anyone, please speak up, unmute yourself and speak up. Charlene Mullenweg, my apologies, ma'am.
No problem. I feel like I've been talking Forever today. Genealogist General of Order of the First Families of Connecticut, and the Plymouth Hereditary Society, and Registrar General of Descendants of Stephen F. Austin's Old 300.
Thank you. Thank you. Helen Werner, are you an officer of any other organization, ma'am? You are muted, ma'am.
Right.
Historian National for Daughters of Dames of the Court of Honor.
Thank you. Do I have anyone else with their hand up? Raise your physical hand if I have not called on you. Shirley Arndt, please, ma'am.
Yes, I am the Treasurer General for Continental Society Daughters of Indian Wars. I am the corresponding secretary of National Society Daughters of Colonial Wars. I'm sorry. Treasurer General for Descendants of American Prisoners of War. And there's probably more, but that's enough.
Janet Butler Walker, you have your hand up.
Okay, well, in addition to indentured servants, I'm the President General of the National Huguenot Society. I'm the second Vice President of the Order of St. Margaret, Correspondent Secretary General for Ancient Order of Scandinavia, Chaplain of Founders Fellowship, Chaplain of Bacon's Rebellion, Chaplain of Order of Alba, Chaplain of Colonial Regulators, Librarian for 1704 Quit Rents, Surveyor for Early Postmasters, Council Member for OAAA, and Marshal for Monarchs of Rents.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Jolie, have I called on you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Cheryl Morris, please. My apologies. Did you ask to speak, Cheryl?
No, but I'm the President General for the Daughters of the Union, 1861 to 1865.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Glenn. We're going to take questions and answers. Please unmute yourself, everyone, and raise your hand if you have a question. State your name, please, and who you are asking questions from.
You're gonna put me in charge of this cat rodeo? All right. I see like 700 hands up. So let me go to the gallery here. I'm just gonna start at the top of my screen. Cynthia, did you have a question, or is that your presenter hand?
That is my presenter hand, but I will lower it, and we can all lower down our hands, and so that way we'll know what's got questions.
Okay, that's not the worst idea. Ms. Morris, do you have that? Oh, nope, there she goes. Okay. Sue Moritz, you have a question? Okay, moving along. Ann Wagaman, nope. Okay. Oh, imagine that. Charlene's got a question. Charlene, you have a question?
I always have questions. Hi, everyone. I promise I'm going to try to stop speaking after this. Ms. Walsh, Ms. Kathy Walsh, do the Founders in New Jersey accept other lineage society applications in lieu of reams of proof?
It's right now it is on a case-by-case basis, but it is on our schedule for the next board meeting. We are going to vote on it. We're going to say exactly the dates and the organizations, but case by case right now. You still have to fill out our application. We'll need your signed application, no proofs.
Okay, thank you so much.
Further questions?
Yes, I actually, Charlene just asked my question for Kathleen. Since I'm a descendant of Martin Titchener, and my application was approved for Order of First Families of Connecticut, I was wondering if that was acceptable, but it sounds like I'll have to wait for the next board meeting or
No, email Evelyn, and she's probably going to accept it. That it's up to her right now, but we're going to put it in writing for everybody.
She's going to tell you their genealogist general never shuts up during the Sharing Our Society meetings. And so don't take her application.
Right, that's my fear.
Perfect. Well, we have one more minute for questions and answers. Let's see if we have any.
Sue, oh, yep. Okay, Sue Moritz does have a question.
For Kathleen Walsh, Founders of New Jersey, did I write it down correctly that your ancestor must have owned land?
They have to have owned land or lived in the state of New Jersey prior to April 17th, 1702. So it's residents or owning land.
Okay, thank you.
Debbie Larson. You're muted, ma'am.
Hi, my question again is for Kathleen Walsh. So I went back and looked, and my father is members of, it's First Families of Old Monmouth County, New Jersey. And so would that documentation work for descendants of founders of New Jersey?
Well, let me think if we're speaking to Monmouth this week. No, of course, yes. Yes.
We're finished the thing. They just have some more time.
Thank you.
But I've been on since, I really signed on too early because the meeting was called for 2 and you could go on at 1.
Okay.
I thought the meeting was called for 1, so I went on at 12.
I think she needs to.
So, I have, let me just mute her. I have a question or a statement. Sue Fitzpatrick, would you please state the scholarships that were given? Do you happen to know them for NSDOAF? And help us with that for a second, please.
The scholarships that were given just recently, the 5?
7.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7. I'm so used to the other number. 7 scholarships were just recently given, so that brings our total up to $50,000 given in the 3 years that we have existed. They went to Texas Tech. There were several, I believe it was 3 that went to Texas Tech. There was 1 that went to, Maureen, can you help me out? You were on the committee. Because I don't recall all of them.
That's all right. Thank you, Sue.
Sorry.
Maureen, do you have any, or Davina, can you help out? That's all right. We'll go back to Glenn. And Glenn, before you do your toast, let me please call for Sandy Bassett. I'm actually over the time frame and want to tell everyone thank you. Sandy, please, closing.
Let
prayer.
us pray. Heavenly Father, this week, may we be humble and grateful as we endeavor to renew our efforts to serve all these great societies in unity and with joyful hearts. In your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Glenn, our magnificent Toastmaster.
You know, it took me a while to get the tie right, so you're welcome.
Beautiful.
It's been a while since I had to tie a bow tie. All right, everyone have their beverage of choice. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, let us toast today's guests for generously taking the time to prepare their presentations and join us today to give us an introduction to their societies. The most constructive way for us to show them our gratitude is to apply for membership if you have eligibility. Our presence today proves that we are no strangers to honoring our ancestors. I'd also like to toast the leadership of the NSDOAF for coordinating another outstanding Share Our Societies event, and once again demonstrating that this society is vibrant and strong, all out of proportion to its young age. Finally, I salute the many members of the NSDOAF who logged in today to support this event and the presenters. Until we once more gather together for the fun and fellowship that defines the NSDOAF, may you all continue to be happy and healthy. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to each of you presenters. We appreciate you. Now, you know, the next SOS will not be in January. We are postponing it and we will be moving it to March. We felt that December and January are too busy for us and families and for myself also. So we are moving it to March and we'll give you a date and we'll be checking on that. So I want, yes, Maureen, you've got your hand up, your real hand up.
My real hand. I have the scholarships if you want me to read them all.
That would be kind. Thank you.
Okay, you ready?
Yes,
You
go.
want the individuals or the schools? Can we give the name?
Schools.
Okay, University of Georgia, Abilene Christian University, Purdue University, 3 of them from Texas Tech University and Texas A&M.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate
Sorry.
you. If you are fine. We appreciate you. We appreciate you signing on. If you're one of our members, we thank you so much for your support, your love, and your helping us to give scholarships. We look forward to seeing you in March, and we wish you safety and health. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Bye.
Hey,
Thanks.
hey, Glenn.
Bye, everybody.
Glenn,
Glenn,
this
you're
is
a gem.
Trish in Kentucky. Save yourself a lot of wear and